Hello, 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 people. You are not being deceived. This is the LLC. It is the governor and Clyde and Kai, and that's all you're going to get this week. The rest of our esteemed colleagues are various places around the world getting ready to coach Olympians. And me and the governor are going to hold down the fort this week. So you can try to be disappointed if you want to, but we all know where the talent lies around here. So good to go. Governor, where are you in the world and how are you doing, sir?
I am in Slovakia. I'm not even going to begin to try to butcher the name of the city. I'm here recruiting at the European Under-18 Championships. And we're just finished day 2, 2 more days to go, and then I'm heading back home.
Very cool, very cool. So as we all know, the grind never stops. But you know, before the Olympics get going, we have some issues I guess we can get into. Starting with the biggest of the Diamond Leagues. What was your thought on the whole Monaco show?
Oh man. Fantastic meet. You know, first and foremost, we witnessed something that should be more commonplace. But you know, the fact that the three of the top 5 greatest 400-meter hurdlers in history decided to lock horns and get after it. That needs to happen more often. And we often talk about you know, or sport and putting butts in seats, and the fact that, you know, if the superstars show up, people want to see that spectacle. And sure enough, they did put on a show. I mean, call it what it is. I mean, another 46 point, you know, 2 athletes running under 47 seconds. No big deal, right? I mean, those guys have raised the bar so high that it's a ho-hum race. Now, you know, I would love to get your opinion on the inner story, you know, and the fact that we have now seen Rai rise to the occasion twice now against his nemesis. I mean, what were your thoughts on the race?
So obviously that was the most intriguing of the matchups from Monaco. And I agree with everything you said. I was super happy that they lined up and did it. I think the timing of it was right. It's a very cool Olympic preview. I will say that, and we talked about this, you know, as a group offline.
Yeah.
I didn't think that race mattered in the context of, you know, the looming Olympics, except for Rai. And so the fact that Rai was able to pull it out and the way he pulled it out, I think that Rai will have the highest level of confidence he's ever had going into a major championship because of this. He absolutely butchered his entire race strategy, whatever it was. And I'm not claiming to be in the inner circle of Rai Benjamin, because I'm not. But there's only one of 2 things he's attempting to do at any race. Either he's attempting to run 13 strides for all 10 hurdles, which is what Warholm did when he ran the 45 race, which is what Edwin Moses was famous for, which is Rai's normal pattern. Or he was attempting to do what he has done the only times he's ever beaten Warholm, which is take 12 steps down the backstretch.
Right.
3 to 4, 4 to 5. He takes one segment at 12, switches his foot. He takes the other segment at 12, puts him back on his right leg lead, and then he finishes in 13. But he didn't do that. He took the 12. He screwed up and took 13, which kept him on the wrong leg. Then he stuttered to get to 14 to put him back on his good leg, and then somehow finished in 13 strides. So the fact that he could butcher that so badly not panic, keep his composure, and still find a way to get to the line first has to tell him that if he just gets it right, not only will he beat Warhol, I think he obliterates the world record. And as I have said for years, Rai Benjamin can do every bit of what Sydney has done in her race if he hits the pattern that works for him. I think Rai can run 45.5 or under. People have always told me I'm crazy, but I was one of the early people that said Sid is going to run under 50, under 51 and probably get it to 49.
Yeah.
And Rai is now waiting on that one as well. I'm telling you, Rai is bigger, faster than Warholm could ever be.
Yeah.
And even though Dos Santos also runs this 12-step unit and does it consistently, he's not close to as fast as Rai is.
Right.
So, you know, I don't see Rai losing unless he tries to run Warholm's pattern, which is 13 for 10. If he does that, I'll take Warholm every time.
So, I mean, you touched on a very big point. I mean, anybody that understands the 400-meter hurdles saw how disjointed that race was. But at the same time, the fact that he was within striking distance coming off of hurdle 10, that now you're talking about 43 relay speed going up against 45-second open speed. There you go. So I think there will come a point where the question of, perfection, can you run the perfect sequence? Can you put the steps together to make it look like it's supposed to look? That is the only question I think that's out there right now, because, obviously those three, when they caught, the fact is this was a moment, right? But in that moment, you have to keep your cool,
That's right. That's right. And I don't think, I just don't buy into the narrative that Rai Benjamin is scared of Warholm. I don't think he's ever been scared of Warholm. I think he's been pissed off. And I think in Tokyo, I think that loss, did something to him. It's one of the best and saddest interviews you'll ever see in track and field. Benjamin's post-race, on the hurdle silver medal interview. Like, he legitimately thought he let everybody down. And there's a moment where you let somebody down running 46.1.
Yeah, exactly.
In that race, he was trying to run the psychopath's pattern. and you can't beat Warholm playing Warholm's game. Because Warholm isn't slowing down to make the 13 steps fit. Rai is.
Right.
It's really that simple. And I think if he just hits that thing down the back where he's going to, bro, I really think it's not going to be close. Now, it can be close if he makes mistakes like he just did. That was a very close and entertaining race. But if he make mistakes, I think it's a blowout. I really do. Monaco, overall, Monaco's always a great meet. We love it.
Yes.
It's almost everybody's favorite meet on the circuit, just, because of all the context that comes with Monaco. But largely, I think that meet was a little less than it usually seems to be, year to year. Did you get that sense, or?
Well, no, you are exactly right, and a lot of it has to do with the plan of attack coming from MVP. Let's just start there. Number two, Kishane Thompson dropping that 977, and the way he did it. Well, I think there's some folks that are going, hold on now. let's figure this out here. Yes, let's dial this back.
Dial it back. Get ready.
Exactly. So no Fred Curley, no Noah Lyles in Monaco. Like, no one's going to show their cards anytime soon. And so, that I think we're in that very critical stage now, where, especially for sprinters, like, things have to be snapping. Like any result needs to be a positive result when you're this close to the games. So, yeah, I think Monaco could have been epic, and I think based on whatever's going on in the relative camps, I think they pull back, and so the meet suffered because of it. Now, you're muted.
Said now, forgive me because there's too many things running together, but there
Yeah.
was another pretty big result in Monaco that I think we should definitely address because
Yes.
you know it's just the way it is now. What was that one for you?
For me, it was 800.
Yes. Yeah.
The men's 800, I mean, I don't know if you can ever feel sorry for a current world champion, but Marco Arap, I mean,
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
we're 600 to go. He's doing what he does. He's leading the field. And last year, in a situation like this, he just holds on. You know, he takes you out to the deep water, the deep end of the ocean, and you know, it's sink or swim at that point. Well, he did that this time, and 5 athletes
Yeah, 5. Like slow your roll, bro.
right by him.
No, literally like that. Okay, so given how spectacular was it Rome?
Yes.
Well, right. So given how
Yeah.
spectacular the 800 was in Rome,
Yes.
totally looked like A-Rob was like, okay, fellas, pump your brakes. I got this. Let me put you in the corner where you belong. And they were all like, yeah, nah, bro, you late to the party. It was a great spectacle to watch, but I absolutely felt bad for him. He's one of the people that probably had to go home and be like, all right, hold on. Fine tune some things because we can't have that. We can't have
right, so what's going on from 6 to 8, coach? What do we need to figure out? I mean, on the other note, the Algerian Sajadi has now run 2 141 races in a row.
Yes.
This dude's on fire, man.
Well, and what's crazy about that is, you know, it's like on both of them, he's storming home.
Yes,
but
yes.
he's storming home in fast races. So it's not like, hey, let's go out faster and take his legs out. No.
Yeah.
That is not going to work for most of y'all.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the angle is to get around this dude, but he's the finisher.
Yeah. I mean, those 5, Sajadi, Atui, Tuol, Cheminingwa from Kenya.
Way better than I would have done.
And Patterson,
Yeah.
all under 143. All of them.
Yeah.
Like, what are we setting up for? Now, the Olympics are tactical. I mean, we don't know what's going to end up happening, but please take it back to 2012. Please.
Well, I don't know if anybody has those kind of wheels. Like I don't see that. But what
I don't either.
and I don't spend a lot of time in the 800 space. But if I am,
but Araf does have his own race pattern, and if he does lead him out,
so that's my issue, right? Like, if the whole globe has seen this dude go out fast and destroy the field twice,
yes,
I don't think anybody's gonna think that that's a good idea.
Exactly.
And it goes tactical on the first lap, and you tell me now we're turning it into a foot race that includes Bryce Hoppel. Oh, I'm here for that. Yeah, exactly. I'm here for the all gas last 300. I'm here for
that. Yeah. I mean, you wonder, I think what made 2012 so special, what made London was so special, was that I think everybody knew what what's his name from Kenya? What he was about to do. I think that in the air, it was in the air. People were just like, today is too special. Like there had already been a sequence of events. And when he came out, when he came through in that first 400, it was like, oh boy, here we go. You know?
And at that time, no one could do that. It was
No,
it
no.
was like, oh, come on, follow me, I'm gonna go get this done.
Yeah.
That's still one of my all-time favorite world records because no pacer,
no
Olympics.
nope.
Like that's one of the great world record performances.
Did it on his own. Like
that's right.
Yeah.
But speaking of world records, I know the timing of meets, we missed it, and we got to just throw this in there because we can't be disrespectful. But faith remains faith.
Faith remains faith. I mean, insane, man. Insane stuff. She just, I guess the word mercurial comes to mind. Like,
yeah,
there's just no beating her. Like there's just, she's on another level.
But you know what? I will say this, and she's the greatest ever. I was super impressed with Jessica Hull. Jessica Hull made a choice. You could see it.
She did.
Like, not today. Like, I'm not just gonna take this 30-meter ass whooping today. Like, I'm gonna get in here and see what it is.
Yep.
I mean, she was never gonna win, but damn if she wasn't right there. Like, that was great.
Oh, did you see her post-race interview?
Oh yeah.
When she said that Faith turned and looked at her like, what the hell are you doing here? Like,
that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want the smoke, let's go. And it pulled her to an area record. I mean, hey, that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? She has now immortalized herself. And then she goes on and breaks the 2000 meter record.
Yep, she did that. And that was in Monaco, which was one of those, rarely run events, but it was still super cool. And anytime you got a chance to go get a world record, you go get a world record.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have the last of the Diamond Leagues coming. Well, not the last of them for the year, but the last of them pre-Olympics. London. I want to ask, as a coach, as a former athlete of this level, do we go to London and do this? Like, it feels so close to something disastrous could happen. Like, and I'm looking at the start list and I'm like, hey, London's gonna be dope, but I don't know if I'd necessarily be up in there doing all of that.
I think in this day and age, with the amount that these athletes potentially have to lose, I think we can pretty much watch out for a couple of athletes pulling out of the meet. The typical Twitter post or Instagram post, hey, I warmed up, didn't feel too right, decided to pull it. I think we're going to see that this weekend. I think there are going to be a couple of them, what we're not going to see. I mean, have you seen that shot put field?
and that's one of the events, like, no one's going to drop out. And that's not, I'm not trying to claim like shot putters have it easy or anything, but I think the injury risk in a situation like that's a lot less.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I think the shot putters may save that entire meet.
Yes. That's going to be a hellacious meet. I mean, Leonardo Fabri is already gone over 22 meters multiple times this year. So I know he's licking his chops, but Krauser is going to be Krauser, so that's going to be box office material.
No, I'm with you 100% on that.
100 meter woman. I mean, so they're running an entire, like, just British athletes together.
Yeah, I think, wait a minute, hold on, I just had it.
So there's a
Yes,
national
and-
100 for men and there's a national 100 for women. Did you see
right.
that?
And honestly, you know, that might be about them sorting out some 4x1 issues.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
like I can't imagine why else you would do that, but
Yeah.
there may be, a person or two on the tail end of what they need to be their 4x1 team that, you want to give them one more shot to go out there and show fitness, if you will, a term that we all hate,
Exactly.
but
Exactly.
it does
And there's
exist.
and there's also a 4x1 in the schedule.
Oh no, that I'm here for. Like, you know, that's
Mm-hmm.
always cool. Um, you know, and London usually has those. So always fun to see some, some solid 4x1s in the preview. The men's final that is scheduled, men's 100-meter final, is very, very interesting. So we know Noah pulled out of Monaco,
Monaco.
but he
Yep.
is scheduled for London.
Yep.
And and this kind of leads into some things we'll get in later, but Tobogo's on the line and Zarnell's on the line.
Yep.
So it's like, that could be a race. That could be something interesting to watch, or maybe we don't run it all. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Zarnell has been nursing an injury recently, so this will be his first time back. Tobogo, I mean, I would say Tobogo right now and Kashane have probably been playing possum the most in terms of what are they really ready to do. I mean, that was one of the more relaxed 200s I've ever seen, the one he ran in Monaco. But he's gonna have to choose a lineup with this crew, or he's not gonna win. I mean, if Noah shows up, then it's gonna take 9-8 to win. That's just what it is. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot potentially on the line, you know, 400-meter race. I mean, have you seen the women's 400?
Yes, the women's 400 is very interesting. I will say this: the if everybody shows up, the race that I'm actually looking forward to the most in theory on the women is the 200.
Yes.
You're gonna give us Dina in 5, Gabby in 6, Juju in 7, and
Yep.
Adeleke in 8.
Mm.
That could set up for some surprises that a lot of people may not necessarily be ready for. Like,
Absolutely.
I'm very interested to see specifically Juju and Adeleke, get a real 200 up out of there, because just because could
If
mean
I'm not mistaken, I don't think, and I'd have to go back and clarify this. I don't think Julian has beaten Adeleke all year.
Wouldn't shock me at all.
Yeah, Adeleke by far has had the better early season. She won in Monaco. So she's quietly on a mission. I mean, 49-17 is nothing to sniff at.
That's right.
And beating Claver in that race. So yeah, I would say that she's primed. Juju came out and won. She won in where did Juju just win?
It was it Monaco?
I don't think.
Yeah, she just had a nice. Oh, was it Rome? It was one of those. She
Yes,
had a very nice win.
yes,
You know,
yes.
looked good doing it.
Mhm.
But again, not anybody really in the field also. So
Right.
it's like, you're just waiting for her to get some real races, which I don't think, as far as 100-meter goes, I don't think she's going to get them until Paris. But
Yeah.
we have another meet, ironically, starting in a few hours. So forgive us.
Yeah.
When you see this, it'll be going on probably.
Give us some grace.
But I want to get it right. So help me get it right, because we can't mess up the name of the first time we ever do it.
Yes. It's called a Holloway Pro Classic.
Holloway Pro Classic, part
Yeah.
of the ATL series.
Yes.
It's Paul Doyle's project.
Mhm.
And who would have ever thought that we'd have a legitimate, full-blown pro meet in Gainesville,
In
Florida,
Gainesville. Yeah.
donning the name of our friend and colleague, Mr. Mike Holloway. I think it's
Absolutely.
great.
It's
Obviously,
fantastic.
well deserved.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it actually looks like, I could argue some of these fields are better than we're going to get in Europe.
Well, I mean, what are we dealing with? I mean, and this again speaks to the era that we're in. You know, and the reason why the American Track League has stayed relevant is the fact that call it what it is, a lot of our American athletes do not like going over to Europe. They just don't. And so, you know, you have a situation now where you've created a series of meets leading up to the Paris Games where you can pretty much train on home soil and, you know, and run against top talent. I mean, why not? You know, and this is something that I know as when I was a pro, I wish I had this, you know, because the wear and tear of the regular season was tough. I mean, heading over to Europe, competing 3 meets in 10 days and flying back and regrouping and such and such. I mean, shout out to Paul Doyle. I mean, this is actually brilliant, you know, because you're not going to have to beg anybody to come to Gainesville. You know, people that know, you know, the results that come on that track. I mean, yes, they're going to show up. And so you have a mix of athletes that were injured early, you know, didn't make their respective teams. They've got a chip on their shoulder. They're going to line up, as well as athletes that are prepping for, you know, for the Paris Games. Something notable that, you know, I need to give a shout out. This will be Christian Taylor's last competition of his career.
A proper send-off.
Absolutely.
It feels very correct that
An
this
apt
is the
send-off on his home track.
That's right.
You know, fantastic career. He will go down as, I mean, one of the greatest triple jumpers in the history of the event.
You know what? Let in LLC fashion, let's do that real quick. Is it Christian Taylor or is it Jonathan Edwards? Because that's the only discussion there is.
Oh boy. See, this kind of hits home to me from the standpoint of, you know, and this goes back to you know, what we've been talking about recently about this takeoff zone and all of that. Because if you measure where Christian Taylor took off, he is the world record holder.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's call it what it is. Now, that means nothing.
Nothing.
In the grand scheme of things. But look at the resume. I mean, if you compare resumes, I mean, good Lord, it's close. It is really close. Now, Jonathan Edwards, I mean, man did what he had to do. I mean, but Christian Taylor picked up the torch and went with that, man.
Here's how I have settled my thoughts on this particular debate. And I settled it a long time ago. You can look at the resume and pick the argument that you like.
Mm-hmm.
Edwards clearly has the official world record.
Yes.
What Edwards did not do, and I don't think could have done, he didn't have to switch feet in the middle of his career.
Yes.
Come back and get medals. So for me, the resume, understanding that the Christian Taylor got medals won things on either foot makes him the greatest ever. And I just, there's not a lot of careers that should be enshrined in our sport, but he's damn sure one of them. And, I can't tell you how happy I am to know that it's ending at this inaugural meet in Gainesville with all that that meet holds for the future of our sport and what he has meant, in the past for our sport. So bravo, brilliant career.
Just so we can put it in a context, right? Edwards won the gold in 2000. He won the gold in 95, silver medalist in 97.
Yeah.
But he is the world record holder.
Yes.
Taylor won gold in 2012 and 2016 and won world championships including 2011, 2015, 2017, 2019. So in terms of the length and breadth of the career, there is no question. I mean, yeah. I mean, so I can't wait. I mean, this is probably going to be an emotional day, and but kudos to Christian Taylor, and I hope it turns out to be a good show.
I hope everybody's tuning in. I don't know if it's on Flow Track or not, but it's on YouTube. If you somehow it's on time, get on there and see it. But props to everybody involved with that project.
Yeah.
Now, to the shenanigans. There's no way that me and the governor were going to host a show by ourselves and not get into the shenanigans. In the lead up to every Olympics, there's always a few things. And Mr. Lyles seems to have, I'll put it this way, I don't know if you would agree, put his foot in his mouth over the last couple of days
on two fronts,
on two different fronts, and caused caused himself some stir. Now, me personally, I think Noah knows exactly what he's doing, and he's doing it on purpose. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it's something other than what it is. So for people who are uninitiated with these issues, please, as you do so well, explain it to the people.
Well, first of all, he was on a podcast last week and was talking about the fact that all of the drama that's been going on in MVP, he's been privy to all of that information thanks to his girlfriend, Janelle Bromfield, and, expounded on that a little bit in terms of, how he's alluded to the fact that he's probably used that information to his advantage. And then also, the fact that, Janelle is still, friends with Sharika, is official wig supplier for the Jamaican squad. But in a way, he outed his girlfriend in the process.
Yes. That listen, we're not going to spend too much time on that one because honestly, I saw the whole clip. I didn't really think he said anything necessarily out of pocket. You could tell he was trying to be a little petty, but the only person that should be mad about that is his girl, because he absolutely put her on blast.
Yes, he did.
He's got the internet and the island mad at her, and that's his fault.
Absolutely.
If everybody's doing the pillow talk, shh, that's why it's in the house. You're not supposed to tell the world that she does that for you. Like, you're not supposed to do that. But where he was, the other one. The other one is the one I want to talk about. So again, please explain it for the people.
So again, on the same podcast, they were talking about his desire to win 4 goals, and they asked him to put together a 4x4. His dream scenario 4x4. And He proceeded to name
his team was Chris Bailey.
Chris Bailey. Yep.
He tried to say himself too,
Yep.
but then he specifically said, "But I know Rye wants to."
Right.
But whatever. So me too, Michael Norman 3,
Yes.
and Rye on Anchor. That's what he said.
Yes. So he basically, you know, put his CEO hat on and said, "This is how I would engineer this team." Then he mentions in the process why he wouldn't put the current USA champion
And world leader.
and world leader on second leg. And so, again, it's your opinion, right? You have freedom to say whatever you want. The issue, and it has now created a mini firestorm on Twitter. And Quincy has now gotten to the point where he actually put out a video where he is basically saying, "Hey, you want my spot? We can line up. I got blocks. I'm ready to go." And it is beautiful.
First of all, shout out to Quincy Hall, Gamecocks. I'm here for him, right? I love everything that Quincy has done in lieu of this disrespect.
Yes.
Let's be clear. I don't even care that in his video, Quincy said he didn't take it as disrespect. Yeah, it's absolutely disrespect.
Oh, yes.
It is passive aggressive disrespect, which I'm not here for. I'm here for petty. I don't do passive aggressive.
Right.
For Noah Lyles to straight up say the US champ won't be on my relay.
Right.
And the reason that he won't be on the relay is because he's too talented to run the first leg, and therefore we wouldn't get everything that we could get out of him on first.
Right.
One, makes no sense. Two, is just a ridiculous statement. It is completely disrespectful to Quincy Hall, who, last I checked, beat Michael Norman handily at USA's. And listen, I'm a Norman fan.
Yeah.
But ultimately, and this is the part where I think people who seem to be confused by this don't really understand this. Olympic medals are tied to money and contracts and so many other opportunities to come.
Right.
Noah Lyles is not hurting for anything. He's not hurting for money. His contract is solid. He just got a new one. He might be the highest paid American. He's the top 1% of people in our sport.
Absolutely.
So the idea that he actually believes, for the sake of his legacy, that we should all care about, and U.S. Track and Field should care about so much, that they take a medal opportunity away from people who are not eating well, is laughable to me.
It is.
It is utterly ridiculous, and Noah Lyles could not beat any of the 400-meter finalists on a 4x4 split, including the 16-year-old child. He can't beat Grant Holloway on a 4x4 split. So the idea that he actually thinks it's a good or justified idea that after in his brain he wins the 100, after in his brain he wins the 200, after we win the 4x1, that the business of track and field should be get his glory moment for 4 golds and make the other professionals starve because of it is insane.
It is.
Not only did Quincy Hall pop off the team last year, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's the best 400-meter runner we got. So he should have been the first name out your mouth. And if you want to debate, and that's why it's subliminally, like, passive aggressive, because Noah knows that not too many people know who Quincy Hall is. But the idea you get on a podcast, say, well, sure, me over Rye Benjamin, put Rye in the stands. No one's going to think that's a good idea. Me over Michael Norman. Yeah, put him in the stands. No one thinks that's a good idea.
Oh.
So he picked on the least known dude, but he's the world leader.
Right.
And yes, I will take Quincy Hall with blocks, without blocks, baton, no baton, gold teeth, the whole 9. Gaps, Noah, in any 4x4.
What's beautiful about this is that if there's anybody in that 400 core that will take this and put this up on a bulletin board and use this as fuel for the next 3 to 4 weeks, it's Quincy Hall. And I can only imagine what Mr. Holloway, what Mike is going to be doing between now and then to calm him down, because that dude is breathing fire right now. And anything that may come across as disrespect, you are going to see, and you're going to get an idea of who Quincy Hall is. Okay,
that's right.
So, hey, whatever works in my opinion. Hey, it is what it is. I just can't wait to see everything come to fruition.
And listen, we're all fans of Noah. Noah's great for the sport. We're here for the Noah Lyles show, but there's no part of the Noah Lyles show that has any business on a 4x4. I wouldn't even let Noah run the mixed 4x4. Like, bro, listen, sit down, hope that you come home with your 3 golds.
Yep.
And focus on that, because none of those, like not a one of those, are solid shots right now. Like that, none of that's guaranteed at all.
See, it's got me going back now to think of the most successful add-ons to a 4x4, the Marion Jones experiment, the putting Flojo on anchor leg against the East Germans. I mean, that was
sure. And those were necessary moves.
Yeah.
This is not necessary.
No.
If this is even considered, not only will it be a mistake, not only will it be the height of unprofessionalism, but man, the backlash that will come from that.
Well, let's not even talk about the Nike Reebok dynamic. Oh my gosh. Like, let's not even go there.
Listen,
no, the Nike Adidas dynamic. Good Lord.
It's just not going to happen. Now, listen, if Noah, wants to be on a 4x4, we had a long season. He had every opportunity to do exactly what Quincy Hall's talking about. Get in some blocks, go around the track, and let's see what's popping.
Yes.
He didn't do it. That little indoor experiment nonsense where, let's be clear, he didn't run well. Ain't it? So, no. Like, please, don't make the mistake of setting yourselves up that way. Like, just go get the gold medal and keep it cool. Put the kid in the prelim, though. Put the kid in the prelim. Now, that leads us to how we'll close this out, because, everybody else is doing it. So we may as well join in our fun. There are no Olympic Games next week, track and field wise. So KST, we're going to play the Noah Lyles role. You're the man.
Oh, man.
What are in the finals, I don't care about the prelims, what are your relay teams for Team USA? Men 4x1, women 4x1, men 4x4, women 4x4, mixed relay. Give me the finals. The KST 5 gold medal relays.
Okay. So I'm going to start with the men's 4x1.
That's better. We'll go back and forth. We'll just trade off. Okay.
All right. Men's 4x1. CC, Curly to Bednarek to Lyles. I mean, and the only flip out will be Arion Knighton on third. That is, if that baton flows between any of those, come on, man.
No, listen, that team
insane
will win. That team should break the world record.
Yes, dare we say it?
I actually believe that is the team that we will see, assuming no shenanigans in the prelims and we make the final, right? That isn't the team I'd run because I just, see it a little bit differently. My finals team would be Kung Fu Kenny out the hole.
Ooh.
Yeah. Fred,
Ooh.
Arian Knighton, Noah Lyles.
Yowzers.
That's my team.
You go with Bednarek over Coleman out the hole.
Yes, sir. Because as I have said a million times, this isn't the 60-meter dash. Okay. And
So
out of blocks in a straight line,
right?
aka the 100 meters, has nothing to do with this.
Okay.
Kenny Bednarek, go watch all the videos. Go watch the Olympic trials. Kenny Bednarek out of blocks has been our best turn runner for a few years.
Now, I hear exactly what you're saying because I remember experimenting it with one time and watching how fast that baton hit the zone.
Yes.
Holy moly.
And there is no chance that Kenny Bednarek will fail to go from 60 to 120 around that bend.
Yeah.
You want that baton to move? That's my team. Now again, both teams should break the world record with clean passes. So I'm not mad at either team. But yeah, that I would run Kenny to Fred to Arian and anchor with Noah Lyles. That's what I would do.
Okay.
All right. So maybe the most controversial. Oh, what's your next one? Go ahead. Next group we're going.
I was gonna say women's 4x1.
Okay, this might be the most controversial group, on paper that we have. But this one, there's no way you could get out of this without making somebody mad. So what's your final team?
Oh goodness. I gotta think about this. This is not something for the weak of heart. So let's see.
Oh no, it's rude no matter where you go.
Yes, it is. Oh boy. So I'm gonna say the three from Dennis's group, right? You're talking about T.T. Terry, Richardson, and Coastal Carolina, right?
Yep. You got Melissa. You got TT and Sha'Carri made the 100-meter team.
Yes.
Tamari Davis was 4th in the 100. You got Gabby Thomas out there. And anyone else you want to throw in that mix?
Chucky.
Oh, right.
You got this.
So what I would do, I would go with Melissa, T.T. Terry, to Gabby, to Sha'Carri Richardson. That's what I would do.
Okay. I respect it. And here's why it's tough for the audience. Tamari Davis.
Yes.
Been nothing short of brilliant.
Yes.
On her job as pop-off leg.
Yep.
USA.
Absolutely.
And for the people who believe top for it at the Olympic trials matter, she was 4th. So there's going to be a school of thought out there and a whole bunch of people. If Tamari Davis doesn't end up on the track in the final, they're going to be that are going to cry foul to the high heavens.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I totally understand that. I totally understand that. In 21, think a lot because we're just worked. Hold on a second. Hold on. The baby is all right. So in Oregon, people these are very short. Melissa Jefferson ran the pop-off leg for Team USA.
Right.
Team that did not include Sha'Carri Richardson, that upset the highly favored Jamaica.
Yes. Yep.
Melissa was great. Tamari was better.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no doubt. I mean, run the numbers. Just been better. Last year was the first team that, in my opinion, had a legitimate chance to take down the 2012 world record set by Tiana, Alice,
Yes.
Jet, and Bianca.
And Bianca, yeah.
Bianca and Jet in that order. I am not here for any 4x1 conversation that doesn't include Gabby Thomas.
Right.
I don't care where you put her, but she better be out there.
Yes.
Now, I'm not the legacy person. I don't get caught up in the should and would and popularity. I don't care about any of that. If I want to break this record, I have the best chance to do it. Not saying, just like we said with the men, I think either team can break that record that we just threw out. I want the team that could be the best chance to break that record. I'd actually, and no, this will never happen. This will never happen. And I believe the team you said is the team that we're going to see. I think we're going to get Melissa on 1, TT on 2, because TT was brilliant down the back stretch last year, and TT was brilliant on the anchor in Eugene. Okay, so TT might be our best relay person, period. She's a savant. She belongs out there. I don't care that she's third. She belongs out there. I think we're going to get Melissa, TT, Gabby, and Sha'Carri. And that makes total sense. But if I want to take the best possible shot at that record, I'm actually running Sha'Carri 1. TT 2, Melissa 3, and I'm anchoring Gabby Thomas.
Ooh-wee.
That's just me. I'm crazy, and that's cool. But hey, I'm just saying.
That would be insane.
I think the KST governor order is what we will see. and if Melissa can duplicate or be better than Tamari was on first, I think that world record has a chance to fall.
Man.
But it's always been the first leg gap that was the issue to get to that number of 40.8.
Right.
And this is better now than she was in Eugene, clearly. So I think they can do it in theory. And, we're all here to see clean passes, because the only reason they didn't break it last year, the passes in the finals were ridiculously bad.
Yes, they were bad.
So
the baton slowed down tremendously.
Oh, I mean, it stopped twice.
Yeah, yes.
So, we'll see. But yes, I know I'm crazy. Y'all can tell me I'm crazy. I'm cool. But I'm telling you, that's the team I would run. All right. Mixed relay. Final.
Ooh.
Mixed relay final.
Mixed relay final. So we're trying to beat
Netherlands, Poland to a degree.
Yep.
Right? Maybe we'll get an actual A team from the Jamaicans, since they ain't running no 4x4 men. Who knows?
So we're trying to beat Femke and the Bolettes.
Yes.
Essentially. Because if they load up for bear, they're going to be.
Oh, they are. They're going to load that team.
Yes.
Yes, they are.
So, okay. All right, so I already know who I'm not putting on that 4x4. I know who I'm not going to put on there. And that young lady has had some mixed results. But let's see. So,
And we're just talking finals. No one cares
Yeah.
about the prelims. It's who's in the final.
Okay. I'm trying
The mixed relay is always difficult because you have to guess at who even wants to do it.
Yes, exactly.
Some of the open 400-meter crew may not want to be a part of that. Even though the other countries, they all get in there, you know.
Well, it should be the ultimate team event. Like, okay, I want to do this for the team. Well,
that's right.
Doesn't always work that way.
No.
So, as far as my woman that I would run on that team, so my woman would be, I would put Kendall Ellis on there, and I would put Shamir Little on there.
It's interesting.
Yes. And for my men, I would go with, I'll give you the order. So for the men, let's see. All right, so I will go Vernon Norwood and Bryce Dedman.
So I like that one as well. My attitude about the mixed relay, and I don't know if this actually goes on, but my attitude about the mixed 4x4 is simple. You offer the spots to the top people, and if they reject them, then we get down the list. Because unlike the 4x1, we're not talking about a skill set event about passing the baton, right? We're not talking about timing. We're just talking about best people available to run this lap, right? And yes, for the record, we all want to see Quincy Wilson in the prelims. Yes, we're all here for that. But not in the final. I'm not resting the gold medal on the 16-year-old kid. I'm not doing that. So for me, if Quincy Hall doesn't want to go pick up that medal, cool. Then and for me, I'm offering it to Quincy and Chris Bailey first. Okay. If they don't want to be out there, then yes, absolutely. I'm landing on Bryce Dedman and Norwood. They should be ready. They should be rested. They've done this before. They can get the job done. The fact that Shamir is there on the trip, that she was chosen.
Yep.
And the fact that, we all know Shamir is a dog. We all know how highly disappointed she must be not to be there as an individual. Like, I think you will absolutely get the best possible Shamir Little that you're ever going to get in that space. Because sadly, it may be her one and only shot to get an Olympic gold medal.
Yes, very true.
So yeah, I'm here for Shamir out there as well. And yeah, if Kendall Ellis wants to do it, then Kendall Ellis does it. But if she doesn't want to do it for whatever reason, prepping for her Open 4, honestly, I'm going with the youngin from Arkansas. I'm going with Miss Brown.
Yeah. Like,
just because.
Very true.
Like, when has she ever run poorly on a relay this year? And, we're talking about, everybody forgets, we're talking about a collegiate team that ran 3:17.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, I'm sticking her out there. But I would absolutely offer it to Kendall Ellis first. She has right of first refusal, as they say, right? And then we go on and get this goal. But there's no And just because of the dynamic of what the mixed relay is, and we don't even know which gender is first and second this year yet. Like I'm still here.
That order is dictated by World Athletics?
For athletics. They
wow.
if you remember the original version, they just said countries do what you want. And that's how we got men racing women, and it was really interesting, right?
It was very interesting, yes.
But they shut that down immediately. Now they dictate the legs. Men versus men, women versus women, which I'm not here for. I want to see coaches have to live and die with their choices personally.
Yeah.
Right. But because of that dynamic, you know, if you tell me that it's going to be men on 1 and 3 and women on 2 and 4, I think that's a very, very different race than the opposite.
Yes.
So, you know, I'm here for it, but those are the people I would go with. All right. Women's 4x4.
Whew.
The other slightly dramatic, potentially messy lineup here.
What?
So, controversy-wise, if I'm looking at Ellis, Butler, Holmes, Brown, and McLaughlin, okay, that's I'm not missing anybody. I mean, those
You're not missing anybody from the 400 crew plus Sid.
right.
Oh, but you're missing somebody.
Who am I missing?
Oh, go ahead, do your thing.
Oh, am I missing? I'm missing Gabby Thomas, aren't I?
Yes, you are. yes, you are. Yes, you are. You can go ahead and give me your order, but I'm just gonna tell you right now, there's no universe where I'm stepping out there without Gabby Thomas in the final. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
So, okay. So are we talking about a 3 gold medal haul for this young lady? Is that what's in the cards? Is that what we're talking about?
It should be, and unlike Mr. Lyles, she earned her face in the 4x4.
Yes, she did. So from a controversial standpoint, right? Boy. Yikes.
Hey, listen, some people will argue that you should just run Team Fayetteville. Like, you could do that.
Yes, you could. You could.
No.
That's right. No, we're not gonna do that.
No.
The way I see it, I cannot deny the top 3. That's just me.
Oh, okay. Okay. This got fun. Okay. So give me the order. Give me the order.
So the order will be so I'm gonna make things as simple as possible for Alexis Holmes.
Okay.
Okay. There will be no running off the track. There will be none of that. You are going to stay in your lane.
There you go. All right.
You are going to come home hard, and you're going to hand off the stick, and you're going to walk off the track.
There you go.
So I'm going with Holmes to Butler to Ellis to McLaughlin.
Holmes, Ellis, Butler, McLaughlin.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not mad at it. I'm here for it. Great team, should win.
Yes.
But I actually think, for the first time in a long time, I think there's a legitimate chance to shoot at this world record.
Okay.
I believe that. And because I believe that, my order is almost simple with one exception. Kendall Ellis is going to run first because she is the best of our 400-meter runners currently. And if you want the world record, we can't have any shenanigans on the pop-off.
And she's the best finisher.
That's right. So go pop this thing off, bust it open, and let's go.
Okay.
Gabby is running second. Because when she gets the stick, by the nature of the event, there will still be people in her purview. She can motor around that turn, do the cut down. She knows how to do it. She's done it. And now we're way out front. Now the question then becomes, who do I trust to run with a lead and keep the motor down? And this is where it gets interesting for me, because spoiler alert, Sid's running anchor.
Yes, she is.
Okay. Sid's the anchor. So I would actually decide who is third based on the results from the Open 4 and who looks like they're in the best situation possible. Right. But right now, it would be Butler.
Okay.
I'm running Butler third.
Okay.
Right. Now, so like I said, something happens in the meet, or it gets weird, or we can run whoever we're gonna run in the prelims and say, hey, listen, there's one spot available in the final. Y'all go get it. Right. I'm here for all of that. But Kendall's number 1, Gabby is absolutely 2, and Sid is absolutely anchor. We figure out the third. That's where I'm at with it. And the men's 4x.
I am not playing around with this. For me, Bailey out the hole, Norman, Benjamin, and Hall. I am putting Hall on anchor. I'm keeping it simple.
Give that to me one more time.
Bailey, Norman, Benjamin, Hall.
Bailey, Norman, Benjamin, Hall.
Yes.
Oh. No. I heard that right. Bailey, Norman, Benjamin, Hall. Okay.
Yes.
I'll say this. I think the men have a legitimate chance at this world record.
Look, it
I
has not
believe
been
it.
talked about. I don't think it's been talked about enough.
No one's paying attention to it.
No one's paying attention.
No one's paying attention to it. And I think they have a better chance than the women do. But again, go do your research, go, be a historian. In order to get it, you need the mentality of people to chase it.
Right.
And you absolutely have to have a proper pop-off.
Yes.
Like without the number 1, it's not going to work. So for me, I'm running Norman out the hole. Because there's no way I'm not going to get my sub, it don't have to be 43, but it's got to be 44 low. And if it's 43, that's even better.
Okay.
Give me Norman 1. Give me Quincy 2. No, I'm sorry. Give me Bailey 2. Give me Quincy 3. And give me Rye on 4. Because Quincy is crazy. And if he knows he's chasing the record, he'll just go. And Rye will just go. Bailey, I think, again, being in the mix of the break, because Christopher Bailey's model is always he gets out slow and he comes home.
Right.
Like, that's who he is. So I feel like if you put him 2 and he at least has to navigate the turn and the break, he's going to get out a little bit harder than he normally would and finish the way it needs to be. But you got to have that number 1 put you in the box.
Okay.
So I'm going to go Norman 1, Bailey 2, Hall 3, and bring it on home, Mr. Benjamin.
So if you were to emulate the world record, okay, we're talking split by split. You're talking 44-5, greatest split ever out of first leg, right?
And I think that should be light work for Michael Norman.
Okay.
Just go get it done.
See, the reason I say Michael Norman on second is because of what he did at the U.S. Championships, where he took it out way too hard.
No, I get that. I get that.
Is he susceptible to it? Because you can't do that on first leg.
Can't do that. Can't have that. I get it.
So 44-5, 43-6 from Watts.
Yes.
43-2 from Reynolds.
Yeah.
43 flat
Yeah.
from Michael Johnson. Okay.
Listen, it's hard. Hard. But and this is why I say the key to it is the one. We
Mhm.
can get something significantly better than 44.5 out of our one. If you
Mhm.
tell me Quincy Hall's one, I'm here for that.
Right.
But
Right.
the big, you know, space to make up has to be on one.
On one, yes.
And so, damn it, like Norman, go get that done.
Yeah.
And we should have half a second or a little bit more to play with.
Mhm.
Because if Norman gives you 43.8 out of the hole, 43.9 out of the hole, now we don't need 44 flat. I mean 42, 42 nines. We don't need that. So
Yeah,
that's
because
why I say put Norman out there first.
because that's the big question mark at the end is how much conviction does that ankle leg have to run 43 seconds by themselves?
Yes.
Right?
Rye can and knows how to do that.
Yeah.
And I think Rye is he's enough of a student of the sport where he would understand that moment. I don't think the men's world record will ever be broken without a 44 1 or faster on first leg, because you're never going to get the 2, 3, and 4 that you got the world record team. You're not going to get that again.
Right.
Like those are going to be slightly slower somewhere. So it's got to come from the number one.
Number one. Okay.
All right. Now, sir, can you do me a favor?
No.
You've been amazing. Can you say bye-bye, Governor?
Bye-bye, Governor.
That is amazing.
Bye-bye, Kai.
We held it down for y'all. Top 2, and you got an official send-off from the baby. There's no way we could end this show any better. We'll get the rest of the crew back together when they're done being Olympic coaches and whatnot. But thank you to everybody. Appreciate y'all.
Peace.
And I'm having a problem with the button. I'm acting like the guy.